You feel a headache start, and within seconds, you're already searching for help. Doctor's appointment. Pharmacy app. Some warning label telling you to take 2 tablets and rest. We are a species addicted to outside permission to heal, but for 300,000 years, no human had that option. No hospitals, no antibiotics, no anesthesia, no germ theory, just a body and the dark. Imagine a fractured leg in a cave 50,000 years ago. No x-ray, no cast, just sticks, vines, and the slow agony of guessing. Imagine a fever spiking in the night, no thermometer, no medicine, only firelight and fear. Childbirth without forceps, infections without disinfectant, a scraped knee that could, with quiet cruelty, become a death sentence. And yet, they survived. Not occasionally, not by miracle. They survived long enough to become us. This is the unsettling part. Ancient humans should have died faster, more often, more brutally than us. Statistically, almost everything was lethal. A wrong berry, a wrong wound, a wrong birth. So how, without one single doctor, did an entire species not erase itself? The answer is not luck. The answer is that the human body was never meant to depend on hospitals. It was built with its own quiet hospital inside it. Long before pharmacies, your ancestors were already pharmacists. Long before surgeons, your body was already a surgeon. Somewhere underneath modern panic, that ancient system is still running, waiting. We just stopped listening to it. The first clue lies in a cave in northern Iraq, in Shanidar. There, archaeologists found a Neanderthal skeleton, nicknamed Shanidar 1, missing an arm, blind in one eye, his leg fractured and healed, decades before death. He could not have hunted. He could not have survived alone. Someone fed him. Someone protected him. Someone, 60,000 years before modern medicine, decided his life was still worth keeping. This is the first ancient hospital, each other. Long before clinics, communities were the treatment plan. Anthropologists studying hunter-gatherer groups, the Hadza of Tanzania, the Kung of the Kalahari, recorded the same pattern. Injured members cared for, fed, defended, even when they could no longer contribute. Survival was never purely individual. It was collective. Then comes the second layer, chemistry, learned over generations. Ethnobotanists have documented over 28,000 plant species used medicinally by indigenous cultures worldwide. Willow bark chewed for pain, centuries before aspirin existed in a bottle. Yarrow packed into wounds to slow bleeding. Certain clays eaten to bind toxins, a behavior still observed in primates today. And beneath all of it, biology was already working without instruction. Fever was never just suffering. It's a controlled internal furnace, raising body temperature specifically to disable invading bacteria. Saliva carries enzymes shown, in later studies, to reduce bacterial growth in minor wounds. Inflammation, pain, fatigue, these weren't malfunctions. They were ancient warnings, forcing the body to rest, to heal, to survive. There was no doctor handing down a diagnosis. There was something older, instinct, memory, and each other. The body was the hospital, the tribe was the staff, and nature was the pharmacy. But somewhere along the way, we traded trust for convenience. Every generation, the body's ancient signals got quieter, replaced by easier answers. We no longer wait for fever to do its work, we suppress it within minutes. We no longer let small wounds close on their own. We sanitize, bandage, control. Researchers studying the hygiene hypothesis have linked this growing distance from natural exposure to rising rates of allergies and autoimmune conditions in industrialized nations, as if the immune system, understimulated, has begun fighting itself out of confusion. This is the quiet conflict. Civilization didn't just give us medicine, it gave us distance. Distance from pain's meaning, distance from the body's voice, distance, even, from each other, the very thing that once saved Shanidar 1. And the science only deepens the discomfort, chronic anxiety, insomnia, and unexplained fatigue, conditions modern medicine still struggles to fully resolve. Some researchers argue, stem partly from a nervous system built for tribal interdependence, now isolated in private rooms, behind private screens. Maybe we didn't become safer. Maybe we just stopped listening. Here is the uncomfortable truth. The most advanced hospital you will ever have access to is not a building. It is the one inside your own chest, fine-tuned over 300,000 years, tested against fevers, fractures, and famine, and somehow, still passed down to you, intact. We didn't survive because we were fragile and lucky. We survived because we were built, quietly, brutally, beautifully, to heal. The doctors came later. The system was already there, and somewhere beneath every modern symptom you silence with a pill, that ancient intelligence is still speaking. We just have to remember how to listen.